Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing with you 4 Christmas decor DIYs that I made for my home this year. I love when I can figure out how to make an expensive piece of decor for less, so that is what I'm going to be sharing with you in today's video. I will also leave the links to my Christmas DIY videos from last year that include a Dollar Tree Christmas terrarium, DIY ornaments, Pottery barn inspired birch trees, a farmhouse hoop wreath, and a one-step tree and garland flocking tutorial. Make sure you are subscribed for more Christmas decor videos, and let's get into it. Okay, so first we're going to be making this vintage inspired Bottlebrush tree in a jar. I love the look of this on a shelf surrounded by other vintage decor, and it's really affordable and simple to put together. First, you will need some fake snow. I found mine at Walmart for $3.22. You will also need a Bottlebrush tree. Mine was $1 at Walmart. A mason jar. This one is from Hobby Lobby and I got it for $2.29, and you will also need a hot glue gun. There are 2 options when making this DIY. The first is putting the lid down, which reminds me more of a snow globe type look. I made this style a couple years ago and I loved it, but this time I wanted the look of a tree in an actual jar, so I will be sitting the jar upright this time. It also helps to see the tree better if you use a jar like this one that doesn't have any etching on the glass. This next step is optional, but I will also be using some white chalk paint and brown wax on the lid just to make the jar seem a little bit older and more antique. Now I'm just going to add a generous amount of hot glue to the bottom of the tree and press it down on the bottom of the jar, trying to get it as centered as possible. And after a few minutes, I'll start adding snow and just eyeballing it until I have the amount I want to use, turning and shaking the jar as I go to keep the snow at the bottom. I just added 2 coats of chalk paint and a little brown wax to the lid, waited for it to dry, and now we have a vintage inspired Bottlebrush tree that looks beautiful styled on a shelf. This next DIY is definitely a showstopper. We have a faux fireplace in our house, and I knew that for Christmas I wanted to do something different and unique to this space. So the first thing I did was measure the length and height of the fireplace. Then I went to Lowe's and got a 1/4 inch piece of plywood that I had them cut to size for me. After that, I used a little bit of this black spray paint and just gave the board a light coat. This is just going to help add dimension and make the finished product look more realistic. I'm using 3 bags of pre-cut wood rounds that I found from Hobby Lobby, and these peel and stick vinyl floor tiles, also from Hobby Lobby, for $11.99. This is my first time using these floor tiles. They're super lightweight and just peel and stick onto your surface. I have so many fun projects to use these with, so stay tuned for more videos with these fun tiles. I also picked up a heavy-duty glue, but honestly, I just ended up using my hot glue gun, which I thought was a lot easier and held the wood on better. I laid out the tiles on the wood and decided on how I wanted them to lay, then literally just peeled off the back and stuck them onto the wood. I did need to adjust the tiles a little bit and they peeled back up so I could easily do so.
It was the night before Christmas. I was closing down for business in my little prison shop. When the bell on the door.
Then I just started laying out the wood pieces until I liked how they looked. I honestly could have messed with them for a lot longer because I'm a little OCD, but eventually I just decided to start gluing them onto the wood.
Jingled once more, and then time almost came to a stop. But somehow I knew, and maybe so did you, that
then I just found some heavy books around my house to lay on top and let the glue dry for a few hours. And when it was all dry, I just rested it on the fireplace. It fit perfectly, and I think it gives such a cute Christmassy look to our living room. Vintage bell garland is all over the place this year, and after I saw that Kirkland's wanted $15 for a 6-foot strand of them, I knew I could do better and make some myself. So I found these vintage looking bells at Hobby Lobby for around $3. I picked up some brown string, grabbed my scissors, and got to work. First, I laid out my string on the table and set the bells roughly where I wanted them to go, so I knew where to cut my string. I also made sure to leave room on each side in case I wanted to tie and hang the garland.
Yes, from this Christmas on, this Christmas on.
Then I just started stringing the bells onto the string and tying them about every inch or so, but I really just eyeballed it, so it's not perfect. I tied my bells twice to make sure they were secure, and the first few were a little hard to do because the string was the longest, but after you get going, you'll learn how to hold the string with your thumb and use your other hand to pull the string through without tangling it. I honestly found this whole process very relaxing and caught up on a podcast while tying the rest of the bells to make the garland.
From this Christmas on, it's gonna be.
When I was all done, I took out my measuring tape to see how long this was, and mine came out to just over 6 feet long, which is perfect for a mantle or even to use on a Christmas tree. This project cost me less than $5 to make, and I have so many options of where to put it, and it goes with a vintage vibe that I'm going for perfectly. This next project is one of my favorites because it's a functional decor piece. Hanging this giant Christmas bucket list is not only going to look really cute in our house, but my son will love checking each item off of the list.
It's gonna be you and me.
To make this, you'll need a roll of brown craft paper. Mine is from Michael's for under $5, but they also sell these at the Dollar Tree and Walmart. You will also need a black dry erase marker, a level, and some string to hang it up. The font of the Christmas bucket list can be done a lot of different ways. If you have good handwriting, you can freestyle it, or if you have a Cricut, you can print out vinyl lettering, or if you're like me and neither of those options will work for you, you can find some fancy font in Word, print it however big you want the letters to be, and trace it onto your paper with a pencil, then go back over it with a dry erase marker. It takes some time, but I think it turned out really pretty, and I find projects like these really relaxing. To make the list lines, I used a level, and I drew everything in with pencil first and went over it with a marker after I liked how it looked.
Decorating the tree from this Christmas sun.
Now we are going to cut the paper and roll it up to look like a scroll. To hold it in place, I'm going to use a line of hot glue, then press it down. You might have to fold the paper backwards a little bit so it doesn't want to roll back up.
We forgot what you came for, and in the coffee shop just next door.
When that is done, just string through your rope and tie it, and then once it's tied, you can adjust it so the knot is hidden.
Talk for hours on end, and somehow we knew that we'd found something true.
I I attached my scroll to the wall using a thumbtack, and seeing all the fun Christmas things we have planned this year hanging up on our wall makes our house seem so festive and definitely gets me in the holiday spirit.
From this